Hello traders, today is the 22nd of April. Welcome to my trading recap video. What you're looking at is the Jigsaw Day Trader platform. This is the depth of market or order book, several different names for it. Some people call it the DOM. So this is all just trading on order flow. There's no charts, no indicators, nothing like that. It's just observing the price action and making the appropriate hopefully the appropriate decisions and scalping out a few ticks here and there. So this first trade here was basically a short trade. I came into the morning and observed a pretty decent trend day in all these products, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. This is the 10-year, and you can see right here, up here, right about pretty close to midnight when we kind of peaked out, and then it sold off, came down, and I put this trend line when I got in the morning, just because I like to stick those in there. Just gives me a kind of an idea of overall direction of kind of where the market's heading and everything, and then so I stuck this trend line in, kind of extended it out. Throughout the morning, pit open happened. We fell down a little bit farther, came back up, and I'll be damned, 7 a.m. we didn't hit that trend line right here, and prices stalled, fairly well right here at this level, and that's kind of what we're looking at right now. And I'm looking at, is this going to continue to go short? Because it kind of blew up through any sort of resistance. Normally I don't give trend lines too much credence, but this one looked like it was going to hold. So you can imagine. We're just looking at from here over, and so I started watching the price action, and that's kind of when I decided to engage. So I'll go ahead and let this play out for you. So eyeballing seven even for an entry. Had some size up there at 7.5. And I even look at taking something maybe in the 30-year because I think I'm going to miss it. And then right over there I get filled in the 10-year, and I actually meant to try to get filled at 6.5. And I got filled at 6, kind of on accident. That's one of the pitfalls, or I guess it's not really a pitfall, but it's a feature of this product that you just click into a box and you're filled just like that. So I still think it's a good trade. It's within my risk parameters. If it comes up against me a little bit, 3 tick loss, that's perfectly fine. But it kind of, it's 1 tick below the point of control. I try to trade, if I'm going to short something, it has to be above the point of control or right at it. Typically, I don't like engaging at the point of control because that's where you're going to get a lot of chop back and forth normally. But it is what it is. So this is just kind of going with the trend, the overnight trend, seeing if that will continue lower based on that impulse that we got at pit open, and then the trend line, and also the size that's on the offer here. So you had a confluence of a few things and then you also have the ES kind of pushing higher, putting some pressure on sellers. So all these things are kind of playing in together. This was kind of frustrating for me here. You'll see what happens. Takes a while to play out, but it turns out to be a very, very good trade. And I think, you know, getting filled at 6 at this point was kind of a blessing in a sense, because I don't think that I would have got filled at 6.5. So I probably would have paid up anyway. I don't recall at the time, but I guess we'll find out here pretty quickly. So the ES continues to push higher, and I think that kind of just sends everything lower, gives these guys an excuse to sell down. You can already see the bid pulling off. I'll fast forward till we get to the part where basically I get shaken out. Very frustrating. But you'll see why. Okay, so now we got about 3 ticks in my favor. Starting to hit down into 4. Beautiful. I think I'm in really good shape. I think I'm going to hit my target, no problem at all. I mean, the Ultra Bond, the 10-year, the 5-year, everything is just hitting on all cylinders. ES dropped in a little bit, no big deal. Got some pretty good size on offer. So, like I said, I'm not sweating this at all. Kind of stalls out a little bit. But I still think I'm in good shape. Move to break even. In pretty good shape here. All right, a little back tick, no big deal. 5-year still in good shape. Right there. That's what spooked me right there. I said, oh shit. It's coming up. I deleted my stop loss because I didn't want that to take me out of break even. I was pretty confident I could still get a tick out of this, which I do. And then as you'll see, I mean, you can already see the 30-year and the Ultra Bond. This thing just fell right back in, like a straight down, which was very, very frustrating. So I started off with kind of a frustrating trade. I only got 1 tick out of it. At least I didn't lose money, but still, it's that was very frustrating. Very frustrating way to start the day. Okay, so moving on to the next trade. So as you can see, we are all the way down at the lows. The 30-year is trading through the lows, and this is one of my favorite setups. It's the 30-year will pop down through the lows, like 3 or 4 or 5 ticks, and then it just starts to develop a little bit of volume, and then normally it pops right back up, and a lot of times this will trade all the way back up into the profile. You got to keep it in the back of your mind. This is a trend day, so you're basically trading against the trend. But it's also 7:30, so we could see, you know, there's that proverbial kind of turn. I didn't notice the trend day at this time, but it was shaping up to be a trend day. But a lot of times these things, it'll turn at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I'm just kind of waiting. I'm scoping it out. Want to see a little bit of volume start to develop. Just seeing a little bit of pushback from buyers. Buyers stepping out. So I was a little bit premature on my entry here, but like I said, this is one of my favorite setups now. As you can see, they do a little bit of back and forth. I definitely could have had 2. Got the volume developing. About 730, 600 at 3 and 2. So I'm hoping this thing goes all the way back up into the profile. In the back of my mind, though, I know that, you know, 10-9, that's right where resistance would be. So kind of keeping an eye on it. I think I would manage that trade. And if we get some pushback at that level, then I would go ahead and just take it off. But you can see the selling is kind of abated a little bit. It's not as aggressive as it was. You can see, watch as the volume starts to develop at 3 and 2. And then right there, the 10-year back ticks. And right here, I feel like I'm in pretty good shape, even though I haven't gone anywhere yet. But see, this is probably where I should have waited. Like now, if I was watching this real time, looking back on it, I'd probably get in right now. Or try to get in at 2. Definitely could have had 2 right there. I think this even goes off for it too, if I recall. So even when that happened, I was like, oh, I'm still in good shape. I'm all right. And if it does plow through and I lose 4 ticks, no big deal. It's definitely come back from that. So now we got 13-13 as far as volume at 3 and 2. Now, if we would have gone off or at 0-1, I think I probably would have started to panic a little bit. Right there, you can see they tried to take it off, and it happens so fast that it doesn't register. So even right here, I think I'm all right. I might have panicked a little bit right here because I think the 10-year went off her and started hitting down. Right there, I was like, oh boy. So kind of, there's a bit of luck involved in this. It was definitely a little bit early on this one. But ultimately, I get bailed out by buyers. They step up. So I will go ahead and forward, or not forward. I'll go ahead and fast forward this. Okay, so we're trading up at 910 level, and that's where basically resistance was. That's where the previous low was. So I moved my stop up to break even. I'd love to get like 12, 13 out of this. If it does stall out, I'd be really happy with that. I'm expecting this thing to come back down, or at least have some sort of a representation by sellers at this point. The ES is dropping in pretty well, so that's kind of helping me. So now I'm in really good shape, getting up into 10. So I moved my stop up, but I still want to actively manage this thing just in case it does get significant pushback. I can try to cover it as quickly as possible. I think what I'm going to do in the future, especially trading the ZB, is when I feel like it gets kind of overextended on a move, it's just to really follow it really closely with my stop loss. Because when this thing drops in, you'll see it. When it drops in, it's tough to catch with a limit order. But at the same time, I kind of want to give it time to breathe. So I'm in really good shape. I feel like we're going to keep going all the way up to my target, to be honest, at this point. We already got past resistance. Like, if we take out 12.13, then I'm super confident we're going to get all the way to the top. It's just been marching all the way higher. Not really a lot of pushback yet. But I also got to keep an eye on the 10-year because that's coming up into the overnight low. So that's going to get some pushback, you would think. You got some size on the offer in the 10-year. But I still feel like I can easily catch 10 or 9. So like I'm in really good shape, I feel like. Like I got 120 on the bid, offers pulling away, and then right there you can see at 12 that thing just flashed. Right here I should have been covering it. As you can see, we hit up into 12 and it basically put up a roadblock. Wouldn't even, they tried to take it bid and they couldn't. See, now I know I'm in trouble now, and I'm like, oh shit. Let's take it off at 11, try to get filled. Not even close. I should have known better. So basically that thing falls in 4 ticks on me. Falls in 4 ticks and hits my stop. That was really aggravating. I actually slammed my mouse down and broke my mouse. So between the first trade and this trade, I was just really super aggravated at this point. So I had to scrounge around for another mouse, and let me see where the next, I'll fast forward to the next trade. Okay, so this is in the 10-year. Basically, we had sold back down. And we had sold all the way back down. And basically, I just kind of told myself, if it doesn't just blow right through the lows, then I'm just going to buy it. Because they do this kind of stuff all the time, especially with time. The time of day So it's 8:15 a.m., 8:17, sorry. Not really expecting this thing to go lower. Not looking for range expansion at this time of day, like that normally happens overnight in the morning. And the way this thing kind of just dropped in, for at least for the ZB, the way it just fell in and then kind of bolted higher. I just knew this thing was going to continue, it was going to bounce. I just knew this thing was going to bounce. So I couldn't get filled at 31.5, pay up to zeros even. Again, setting the target all the way up in the range. I figured it'll just trade all the way back up like it normally does. No big deal. So nothing real fancy about this, just kind of watching all these other products as the Ultra Bond goes up higher, 30-year up higher, 5-year. Everybody's just sort of trading back up, so it's all good. I'll go ahead and fast forward until we get to the part where I cover the trade. Okay, so we're trading up into 2.5, 3. Getting up into the overnight low, expecting some pushback here. This was actually the previous low as well. So the first time down, we made a new low by a couple ticks. This would technically be resistance, but the more major resistance would be at the overnight low. We've been motoring up pretty well, so I wanted to give it a lot of time. And then it just kind of stalled out. And I wanted to give it time, but buyers just sort of evaporated at this point. So I still got 1,200 on the bid. Okay with that. I feel like I'm in good shape. There's no real selling aggression yet. Only 2 had come down, and then right there I knew that's an Ultra Bond and 30-year back ticked. The bid just dropped away in the 10-year. And I think I should have already been trying to work my way out of this thing at 2.5. I think at this point I kind of knew that I wasn't going to get it anyway. I should have been trying to work myself out at 2.5 at this point. Looking at it now, I don't know what I was thinking. Just hoping, I guess. So it falls in one more tick, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, I better cover this thing before it comes all the way back on me again. And I really break something. See, now I'm thinking I'm in big trouble. But luckily, I got filled at 2. So it's 4 ticks. And if it drops back in, I'll just buy it again. That's kind of what I'm thinking at this point. Speaking of which, let's move forward to that one. So we're back down here again at the lows. And I figured, just like before, it's just going to snap back higher. So might as well just buy it. So here we go, back up higher. Especially because the 30-year is not even close to the high. The Ultra Bond's not even close to the low. Ultra Bond's way off the low. So they're not even going to get down to the lows. So that's super bullish in my mind. This is what I'm thinking. The 5-year is not even close, or still 2 ticks off the lows. Although they kind of hit the lows and bounced up already. So this is what's going through my mind. And the ES just continues to make new highs. New highs, and right here I'm like, oh shit. Because the bid just evaporated. 200 down into it. I'm hoping and hoping and hoping that the ES falls in. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta hang in there. I gotta hang in here, see what happens. Yes, finally starts to fall in a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm in good shape. Here we go. This is now is when it's gonna go higher. We're definitely gonna go higher now. So I'll fast forward this a little bit more until we get closer to where it pushes through. It's not looking good. Even though the ES starts to fall in, that's probably the only thing that held on so long. So here I probably could have bailed. I probably should have bailed. Still kind of holding out hope, but yeah, it's Dunsky. I'm kind of hovering there because I don't want, sometimes with the volume stops, if they come through with a big market order, you can get slipped. So I'm thinking to myself, well, I should just stop myself out. But thank God it just happens in a gradual way. So that was my last trade for the day. I actually went out to the garage to find my wireless mouse because right now I have my backup is a corded, and then so I missed this really great trade down here. I just wanted to capture this because you could see where we're trading now. We're back up into the range, but right here at 28 and the 30-year, and even, or no, excuse me, the 10-year. I keep getting them mixed up. 28 and the 10-year. Look how they just put up a roadblock. This is such. I mean, this is unique. From what I understand, this is unique to this product. It's pretty, just incredible. It's pretty decent size in the 5-year, definitely in the 30-year. But yeah, that's just. I wish I was there to trade that because I definitely would have bought that and rode that sucker all the way back up into the range. Yeah, that's it for me today. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the comment box below, or you can send me a direct message. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions.